Shit.
Hello, Maja.
ඉතින් ෆෝන් එක charger එක දාගමු මෙතන ඒක off වෙයි. All right, everyone, very good morning to you. So today's sessions, it's going to be WVD or as Windows Virtual Desktop. So this is actually delivered on Azure. So I've actually gone through few days to setting up the WVD environment. It's quite long and it's quite, let's say, the difficult task to in order to get into this WVD get set up. But when it comes to the setting up everything perfectly, so it's very much fun and it's very much easy for everyone to use this feature and service. So let's move on to the first slide. So virtualization helps address specific business needs. Actually, let's find out who wants and who can have this feature. So first of all, security and regulations, the sectors like financial services, healthcare, and government. These people are very much uh, almost. I mean, you can go ahead with pitch this solution to these people. Security and regulations like companies like financial services like banks and all, healthcare, government as well. And again, elastic workflows companies like mergers and acquisitions. Like when it comes to the acquisitions, so let's assume like a company, let's say A is the mother company, and a mother company going to acquire another company called company B. So then in that case, there are a lot of challenges coming into the picture. So basically, we can go ahead with this virtualization solution for them, and it is very easy to set up. Once set up, actually, you can ask anybody to use this feature from anywhere. So that is the wonder of this product. Short-term employees as well. So if there is a short-term employees, definitely you can go ahead with this option. Contractor and partner access. So yes, you can basically give a partner access to this solution. So specific employees as well, bring your own device and mobile. Definitely you'll be able to log into your desktop using your mobile device, using your web browser. Definitely can be done. And bring your own device. So that's a new fee concept. We can say like a new concept of getting your own device to your company while you are working in that specific company. So you don't need to get signed into your personal device within your organization domain or domain joining machine. So you just keep your device as your own way, like your person. You can keep your personal stuff in your own device, but in the meantime, Microsoft and Azure will provide you a virtualization solution called WVD in order to work your organization file and stuff. Call centers, again, definitely this is going to be a very good product, and branch workers as well. Specialized workloads, in the meantime, it actually says the design and engineering. So if you have the legacy apps, definitely you can work with Windows 7. You can work with Windows 7. Windows 7 with extended security updates as well. So there is a security concern always, but you don't worry about that because the Microsoft is keep on providing security updates for that. And software development test. So people who work with development and testing environments, so then you can propose this solution for them as well. I'll move on to the next slide. Right, Windows Virtual Desktop. So these are the few features that you are coming with, that is coming with along with this service. Deliver the only multi-session Windows 10 experience. So what do you mean by Windows 10 multi-session? So it's actually very nice feature. So let's say you have one virtual machine in your Azure with WVD setup. You have 10 people of your organization who wants to have this feature. So definitely you can go ahead with a Windows 10 one single virtual machine. That 10 people will be able to log into their desktop simultaneously with 10 sessions. I hope everybody get this understanding. Any questions with this?
Ashan, I think those 10 users can save their files to desktop all as well, right?
Definitely, they are desktop, and basically now this feature is coming with coming along with Office 365
Yeah.
applications. So in that case, you have the OneDrive options as well. So definitely you can save your things inside the desktop or even your cloud storage.
Okay.
Only
Anyone?
Office 365 only? Is it only for Office 365 or rest of the applications as well? Whatever we install on the Windows 10.
Yeah. Now it's like this, Dylan. So basically, when it comes to the deployment, you'll have
Okay.
to select the OS with the customized settings and all. So the OS is mostly predefined OS are already in Azure. So you have, so normally you have the option with Windows 10 with Office 365 apps. In that case, Office 365 is going to install by default along with the Windows 10 OS. And in the meantime, as you correctly mentioned, you can install like VLC, Chrome, and anything like Firefox. I actually done that one. I'll showcase you in a moment. So you can install to the original OS, and then later on you can have all these application based on the user's preferences. You can allow them to use it.
Cool. Well,
All right. It
No,
is what
I think Ashan, the
actually.
question here is Ashan.
Yeah.
I think the question here is, Machan, if you save into that the remote VM,
Mm-hmm.
which means is it possible to save it in our own desktop as well? For example, if somebody saves the files in their VM, let's say the company is hosting their application on the cloud and they want to save the data, but can users select the machine that they're connecting to save the file?
No, Machang. So as far as I have
Okay.
gone through the, I have gone through the
Okay. Yeah,
scenarios.
I
if
think
so,
The
if so, then
saving option
there is
is
a security concern as well, right?
yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why. I think it should be prevented. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely, because when it comes to the saving, it will showing only the original OS paths and all.
Okay.
So
Okay.
there
And again,
is
the
no
next
any
thing is, Majang,
possibility to
yeah.
do that.
Now, when you're configuring Office 365 as well, then we need to consider the DLP or some additional thing to prevent users from saving file to their OneDrives. Neither. If organization has that feature.
එහෙම
Exactly.
වෙන්න ඕනනේ.
එහෙම
It,
වෙන්න ඕනේ නේද? නැත්තම් මචං ඌ ඔෆිස් එකේ කරන වැඩ ටික ඌ OneDrive එකට save කරගෙන ඌ personal
ඔව්.
desktop එකෙන් open කරලා ගන්න පුළුවන්.
මෙහෙමයි ඉතින්.
WVD
Discipline
නැතුව පුරී ගෙදර ලැප්ටොප් එකේ කරන්න දුන්නම් හරියන.
මේ self discipline නැති එකෙකුට ඉතින් ඕක දෙන්න බෑ ඔබ. ගන්න එහෙම හිතන්න එපා
ඔව්.
පොඩ්ඩක් ඉතින් එකෙක් වෙන්න ඕනේ.
නෑ 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 මම කියන්නේ මේ එන requirement මම commercial banking ඔය කතාව
Exactly, Macha. Exactly. No, your point
ඔව්.
is exactly valuable. All these features need to be placed in before you know, enroll in these
හරි බයි.
features to the clients. Definitely. And in the meantime, you must have the licenses, right? Otherwise, the product is says like
ඔව්.
unlicensed, where you can't do anything. Like even you can't type it. I just checked last night. You won't be able to type it. Everything is by default disabled and saying that your license is unlicensed. So make sure you provide the license and all. So in a moment, I'll be explaining you how the deployment goes on because it's kind of long process. I'll explain you. and then you can have better understanding, right? I'll move on to the next point. Migrate Windows Server RDS. So if you have the old RDS desktops and applications where you have been already shared with RDS option, yeah, you can go ahead and migrate this one. And actually, this is the point that I just wanted to troubleshoot or maybe the deploy in the later of my sessions, like next time. So I'll go ahead and do it, and I'll let you know if there's any challenges. And deploy and scale in minutes, definitely. Now, once you set up, it's in minutes. But if you wanted to setting up, it's quite challenging, and there is a lot of documentation also need to be gone through. But everything is set up correctly. Again, it is very easy for you to manage it. I'll move on to the next slide. It's actually video. Will you be able to see it? Okay. It's no point of playing over here because I don't
lagging.
Think it's lagging, right? Okay, no problem. But I'll move on. I'll move forward. Just give me a second. All right. Now, in the meantime, I've shared the document with you all, so you can go ahead with the Microsoft video. It's very nice, and if you can have a quick understanding how and what this WVD, it's very nice video. I ask everyone to go ahead with have that video, watch that video. All right. On the meantime, I'll be moving to the next slide. Deliver the only multi-session Windows 10 experience. I actually explained this one. Let's have a look on how this feature works before we move forward. And just before that, may I explain you how the deployment had happened? Is that okay with you? Before I showcase the demo?
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yes.
In my case, yeah, perfect. In my case, I have a public domain, and I have my on-premise Active Directory, which has extended to Azure AD. Right? In my lab PC, like 192.168.8.11 IP, I have a AD domain name gitsargems.com. Just forget about the domain. So that domain name has the AD function, and the AD has been extended to the secondary AD in the 192.168.8.10 another VM in our lab. So then the DR site in Azure has extended this and DR01. So we have 3 AD servers so far, right? And then in order to get it done with WVD, you have to extend your AD into the Azure. So that's why I have extended this into the Azure. So basically you can go ahead with 2 VPN options, point to site and site to site. So I've gone with the site to site VPN, and that has been extended to our Office Lab to Azure itself. So then when the extended part has been completed, your AD has been extended to Azure. Now, and then you'll have to place an AD connector. So AD connector, maybe Azure AD sync, you already have known about that one. So now basically we will be doing AAD to synchronize our on-premise attributes to Azure AD. But in this case, we'll place the additional AD in Azure and then installing the Azure AD Connect on that, and then synchronize to Azure Active Directory. Any questions about that? It's quite a different scenario, right? Shall I go ahead with that?
Okay.
All right. In that case, so now my on-premise I've actually create few users. I actually created a new organization unit like WVD, and in the WVD I've created WVD 01 to 05 users. So these users are going to be have the permission to connect to WVD solution, right? And the WVD, the users have been synchronized to Azure Active Directory. So this is not the our own Active Directory. This is Azure Active Directory. So all these users are going to be synchronized to Azure Active Directory. So in that case, we are very much fine with that configuration. We will go ahead with have the WVD feature in Azure. So you will have to register on that. You will have to get your tenant ID, and the tenant ID has been registered with Azure WVD. So then you will get it, you will get a successful message. So okay, you have been registered with Azure WVD. So
Ashan,
once
is it
that
again
has been
again a separate
completed,
subscription
there are
or
few
something?
actually. No, Machan, as far as I've gone through, there is no such. Meantime, when you use the virtual machine consumption is going, bill for you, and as well as the network connectivity, and so no additional cost for the WVD. That's another feature for you.
It is within Maja, it is within the same subscription, right?
Yeah, it is within the same subscription.
Okay.
It is actually within the same subscription, like Ashan said. But the thing is, Machan, you don't get. There are some additional steps that you need to get the WVD onboarded to your tenant.
Okay.
So not just, you can't just go to the Azure portal and then add it. There are some PowerShell commands where you need to onboard it to Azure first, give permissions likewise. So
right.
it's an extra step.
Sure.
Yeah, that is what actually I was supposed to do. You'll have to do like maybe 5 to 10 PowerShell commands. Those PowerShell commands is all about you are creating a WVD tenant and all. You create a WVD tenant and you create a group in order to have the permission to create the tenant. So these I'll actually once it's Kapila. Just give me a moment. I'll disconnect the call. Everyone can hear me because I've shared my internet connection through the phone.
Yeah,
You
we
all
can
hear
share.
me?
Yeah,
All right. The Kapila is calling, right? I just disconnected it. That's okay, fine. Now, yeah, you'll have to run a few PowerShell commands again. The PowerShell commands is all about the create the tenant, WVD tenant, and assigning the permission to the WVD tenant and all. Once I finish my session, I'll actually share the link that I have followed. So it is very nice article. So everyone can go ahead with the same setup and can have the WVD run smoothly. In the meantime, you need to more focus on your costing, because when it comes to the VPN, when you're setting up the VPN, you are going to get billed every day, even though you are using it or you are not using it. So be careful with that. I actually yesterday half of my amount, the free amount, has been gone. All right. Now the setup is actually creating the WVD tenant and assign users and all. So now our Active Directory environment is also extended, and the Azure Active Directory is having my on-premise users as well. Now everything is fine. Now in that case, what we have to do is actually, let me showing you some PowerShell commands. All right, it's okay. Now, there is a commands to getting into this WVD, the PowerShell add-on PowerShell modules and all. So you have to install it. And in the meantime, all these steps are available in the document. I'll share it to you in a while. So once get everything ready, so you are in the WVD tenant now. Now, what we can do is actually I'll showcasing you quickly. There's a tool where you can access your WVD feature. So it's called remote desktop. You can see the let me, all right, it's getting now the red color icon. Hope everyone can see now. So when you click on the remote desktop option, it's actually showing you. I'll unsubscribe because now when it comes to the from the very first time, you will get started. And what you need to do is you need to subscribe. So in the meantime, when it comes to the subscribe, you will have to do the permission assignment to the users. Now, I've already told you. I've created 5 users, WVD 01 to 05. So let's move forward with WVD user 1. Let's go with WVD user 2. Let me quickly. I'll go ahead with WVD user 2 and the password, the on-premise password, because I've shared my password with password hash synchronization with AAD Connect. Once you successfully logged in, it will be showing you the permitted applications or the desktop where you can use. Actually, when it comes to the applications and desktop, there are 2 options. It's always can be assigned to the users. So desktop in the sense like your desktop environment where you have been set up in the Azure. Now, we've been registered the Azure subscription to the WVD, right? The feature has been registered and then the tenant had the WVD tenant had been created, and then you'll have to create the virtual machines for the WVD. So in that case, you need to create some pools, because now in this my demo, actually I'll use only 2 virtual machines in 2 pools. But when it comes to the actual environment, like there are maybe more virtual machines. So that all these virtual machines can be set up in Azure, and then you can assign that virtual machines to the session host pools. So the pool have actually 1 or more virtual machines.
Is there limitations for the pool, Majan? Number of pools that we can create on the Azure side? Is there any limitation?
Definitely, I'll have to go with that information, Majan. As far as I've seen, I couldn't pick it up, Majan. So
sure.
have to look.
Okay.
I'll have a look and I'll explain you. If you get the answer, just let me know as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And the desktop, in the sense, the exact desktop, you can go ahead with work with that. And the application inside the virtual machine, there are applications you can set up. So all these applications you can assign through these PowerShell commands. So let's try with Excel. Now you can see there is no Excel for this user, right? Wait. All right. Now you can see the Chrome, Notepad++, OneDrive, Remote Desktop, VLC, Word. No Excel for this user. So what I can do is I'll quickly go ahead with assign Excel to this user. Now, how comes the Excel is going to get into this machine? So it is actually like this. Now, I'm running another command. When you run this command, all the installed applications is going to showcasing over here. So you can find out the Excel and Word, all these applications, name and all. So you can set it up from here. Like we can go with E. It should be showing you the Excel option. So give me a moment. I'll quickly move forward. A, B, C, D, E. All right. Over here. Oops. Okay, I think everyone can see the Excel option. Excel is there, right?
No.
Yes, friendly name.
Oh,
එනමට පරක්
exactly
තිබුණා
correct.
බදලට ඉන්නේ.
Oh, yeah, that could be the reason. Okay. But before I run in, this, the command actually, the command is all about new RDS remote app and the tenant name which you have been already created. My one is GG WVD tenant, which I have been given the name previously, and the WVD host pool 1 or 2. So host pool in the sense that where the virtual machine has been placed in your environment. So this is pool 2, and the remote application group is the group. So there is two options always: remote applications and desktop applications. But I can't exactly remember. There are actually two remote applications group in my case. Let me try that first one, and if it is not working, let me try the other. I'll just go ahead and run this command. All right, it says, let me try with this user. All you need to do is go ahead with refresh this option. The refresh is going to be successful, then the application should be showcasing over here. Okay, I think this user is not belongs to this group. Let me try with the another user. If not work, I'll try with the new user because I've tested these users and I'll newly created user 4 and 5 should be work properly. Give me a moment. All right, there I go. Excel is appearing, right? Can you all see that?
Yes, yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay, great. So if I wanted to just open this application, I'll just double click on it. All right, there you go. Then you'll be getting this WVD2, the username for this user. Again, the prompt will be appearing. I'll be put the password. There you go. All right, since I've already enabled the license in Office 365 portal, you can see over here the user has been signed in. So that's why everything is available over here in order for you to edit anything. So otherwise these tabs are going to be grayed out. You won't be able to edit in any case. By any chance, you won't be able to do it unless you assign a license. Now, if you wanted to move forward with save as, like go to the browse. In this case, now you can see this PC. This is actually, you have C and temporary D. So if you can see from my device, there you go. So my one is C and D only. So you can see the difference. There is no any option to save it in your desktop. So this is going to be your virtual environment. So I'll go ahead with documents and say TOG_01. Move forward with save. Right. The document has been saved under this user. Right. Okay. Now, while keeping this remote desktop, now I'm going to have this same feature in another different user by web browser. So the link had been provided by Microsoft, so you can go ahead with that one. And there's an option to log into the session. I go with the same user, and then I'll be later on going with another user. This is the WVD_02, the same user which we have been logged into previously in a desktop application. There you go. In a browser also you get a similar experience. I'll open up Word, asking these permissions and options. I'll set allowed. It'll again asking you to provide the username and password. So the previous one, because of the similar user, it's going to be disconnected. Now in a web browser, I've connected to my application. Where you can edit anything. Right. So keeping this aside, now I'll be showing you how to have the desktop feature. Now this is everything is up now. If you wanted to have the application configuration already been placed, you'll have to do this command beforehand, you place the remote desktop, the desktop session for the user. Now, all about this command is the add RBS application group user and the tenant name, host pool name, where is the pool, app group name, application. There will be two groups basically by default, desktop application and remote application group. In this case, you will have to, if you wanted to have the user to have a remote desktop session, fully remote desktop session to your virtual desktop environment in Azure, you'll have to assign desktop application group and then the user principal name, where is the user. In my case, the user is WVD5. So I'll move forward with the desktop application, where I'll be unsubscribe it and then again go ahead with subscribe. Get the username. The password should be password. Not the password. Right. Getting into it. All right, there you go. So since I've only assigned this user to have the virtual desktop session only, you can see only this application option. There is no Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Even if you wanted to share the Word, Excel, PowerPoint, the same setup, the same command that you should run with the remote application group. Right. If you wanted to double click this session desktop, it will going forward with remote desktop session to your Azure virtual machine. We put the password again. Right. Let me show you the user host name and the right. This is WVD app 0. Right, WVD 05. Now, while keeping this session desktop aside, I'm going to try that one in here. Before that, let me run one command. The same thing. I'll be browsing through the web browser, copying my user. Wait. This is username 4. I'm gonna try. All right, there you go, your desktop. Now it'll take a few seconds. Now, as all of you can see, I'm in a browser, but I'm managing my desktop. There is no lagging, nothing. It's very smooth. All right. Now I'm here in the same virtual machine. My virtual machine name WVD-app0. Now the username here is user4. Here the same machine, username is user5. So you can have multi-session Windows 10 environment in WVD. And if you can run the command, now I've been cached one account as well. Now you can see the sessions are 3. Now previously I ran the command. You can see the sessions are 2. So you can move forward with this feature, and where you can have, you can save some cost to your organization, because you can run only one machine and you can have multi-session environment as the resources, unless you ended up with the resources. If you have the much resource, yeah, you can go with this feature as well. Any questions so far with the demo? Because I'll be able to move forward with the presentation again. Hello everyone. Any questions?
I'm good, Maja.
Shanuka,
Okay.
Daniel, Danushka.
Thanks, Dilan.
Okay.
Fine.
I will let you know then.
No, not right now. No questions.
Can move forward. Okay, thank you so much. Right. In a similar way, where we can explore the legacy app promoting as well, while we are using Windows 7 option in this WVD, we can move forward with the legacy application running in a virtual desktop environment for the users, wherever the users are located. Right. Only thing is to have the internet connection for the user. Even in a web browser, you will be able to access it. I'll move forward with the next slide. Actually, we've gone through this Office 365 ProPlus. We have done that in the demonstration. I'll be move forward with that. So this is what actually I'll be working with after this session. So migrate existing RDS desktop and apps. So we'll be completing this one when once the Azure credits are going to receive again. So now I think almost 70% has been already utilized. So I don't think so. If this going to be setting up again, so it's going to be it's not going to be work in this period of time. So once my credits are going to be reset, I'll be able to demonstrate this one and let you showcasing you another session. I'll move forward with that one. Deploy and scale in minute actually. So now you saw actually. So if you wanted to have the application already set up in the virtual environment, you can do that. If you don't have the application set up, what you can do is I'll showing you the now. This is my so this is my Active Directory in Azure. So similarly, I can browse my desktop. Now this is my desktop already placed in Azure. So for this computer, everything is going to get connected. So this is password, and we are going to get connected to the RDP session as well. Because I'm in a VPN tunnel inside my office lab and into Azure. So that's why I'll be able to get directly RDP session. So now you can see all these applications, the Chrome and VLC, I've been installed. Once installed, these are available for users to use. Dilan, your question, huh?
Yes, got my job. Thank you.
Yeah, you can do it. So it is very simple once it gets it right. So this has the Azure has data centers available 54 regions and 140 countries. Yeah, wherever the users, wherever our customers, we can go ahead with this feature with any place because Microsoft has their own data centers in 54 regions and 140 countries. Azure Management Portal for Windows Virtual Desktop. So Management Portal also has a feature with Windows Virtual Desktop. Built-in security and compliance for Windows and Azure because Microsoft 365 in your environment and then you have the Windows as well. So you are always good with security and compliance because your 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 virtual machine and in Azure it's already automatically getting download and getting installed the needed security and other updates. So you are always very much secure in that case. So I'll move on to the next slide. So full Windows 10 and Office experience. Now you have been already seen that optimized for Office 365 ProPlus. That's already been noticed. Migrating will be covering in the next session. Deploy scale in minutes. So you actually notice that one as well. Additional it's actually VDI RDSH remote desktop session host management as a service on Azure. So RDSH, I didn't go through anything. I didn't set up anything in Azure. It comes in by default. When you set up our WVD, RDSH comes with inbuilt in the WVD option. So yeah, you don't want to do anything. Most flexible service allowing you to virtualize both desktop and application. Now you saw actually desktop you can go ahead with have RDP session and the application you can have the individual application as much as you want and how you want. Windows 7 virtual desktop also needed to be have the Windows 7 virtual machine in order to showcasing you want. But in this is a similar case. The Windows 7 OS is based in Azure, so you can deploy it with another virtual machine and you can have that feature. If now let's say if you have the users who are there is a barrier to move forward with Windows 10. So this is a good option and good opportunity for these users, for these clients. Integrated with the security and management of Microsoft 365. Yes, it's integrated with security and management. So this is very productive, and you can go ahead with hybrid option. And again, it's intelligent and trusted. So high-level architecture is going to be managed by Microsoft in the pane. So web access, diagnostics, gateway, management, broker, load balancing, everything. You can place even load balancing. I didn't put, if you wanted to put a load balancer, yeah, managed by Microsoft. Your subscription you control, Windows 7 Enterprise machine, Windows 10 Enterprise, and Windows 10 Enterprise multi-session. I've installed the multi-sessions option because I just wanted to showcase into the multi-session. If you wanted to have the only one user session, you can go with Windows 10 Enterprise only. And also you can have the Windows 2012 R2 and upwards virtual machine and remote app we've been going through. And the best part is the compute storage networking are managed by Microsoft. We don't want to have a look on these things unless otherwise we have the money. I'll move forward to the next slide. All right. The customers are eligible to access Windows 10 license and multi-session and Windows 7 with Windows Virtual Desktop if they have one of the following licenses. So, the Gayan, maybe you can have a insight with this one. So, these are the licenses. I've gone through the documents and all. These are the licenses eligibility where the client have to have this feature.
For the WVD method?
Yeah.
Yes, for to use the WVD one, I'll share the list. You need to have M365 licenses, M365 E3, E5, or A3, A5, M365 F1, M365 Business, Windows 10
Exactly.
Enterprise E3, E5 subscription, or Education E3, E5, or
it's
Windows
not
10.
Yeah, Macha. So these are the licenses category, and in the meantime, you have the yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. Okay. And
Yeah,
in the meantime,
the thing is that
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
question
So these are correct, right? Yeah. In order to have the on-premise server workloads to handle in Azure WVD, the servers also should we have the RDS CAL license with the active software assurance licenses as well. So these are the licensing options you have, and now Antonio, if you can hear me, so this feature is very much useful for you, I guess. Windows Virtual Desktop with Samsung Dex.
Yes.
You've been shared in a few days ago something similar to this one, right? You can have multi-session desktop in your home environment, so your phone can have the one application, and the rest of the application can be shared with the big screen. So this feature is available with WVD on Android. All right, taking the next steps. So again, I'll have to learn more about this wonderful service. So like I mentioned, I'll be move forward with the on-premise and hybrid environment mostly, and I'll be more focused on user cases. So after this session, actually, I'll be sharing you the exact the article. So you go through with this document and have a look on that. So thank you very much, guys. If you have any questions, you can ask me.